Sorry about that. One of these days, I'll figure out how this thing works. It's like the song ends on time, but the initial screen for it, it should be ahead of the main screen that you're seeing. But what I'm saying keeps playing, and I'm like, I gotta go find it and turn it off. And it's like, jeez. And then by the time I found it, it was over. So what are you gonna do? So, apologies for not making it to Pop Culture Breakdown last night, but at first I overslept, and then I was extremely sore. I don't know why. The back was hurting and stuff like that, but just like, I don't know, legs hurt and everything. It took a long while to get moving and stuff like that. I feel okay right now. I don't know what the hell that was. Like I said, I overslept, and yet it felt like maybe I didn't sleep well enough. And I know I had nightmares. I just don't remember what they were. Yeah, what are you gonna do? So, got some stories cobbled together. Like the title says, there's DCU and MCU, and then a Star Wars story. I haven't talked about that in so long because why? But I don't know. It was there, so I'll throw that in the hopper, and then a couple of late breaking ones. We'll go to that, but now I'll get to those stories shortly, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, time permitting, I will have a Nailsin news segment in the night. That will probably be pretty late. Maybe into Friday. Well, it'll be into Friday morning, no doubt about it. But, perhaps into the dawn as. Yes. So anyway, I guess I'll get right to it. I see Susan Dolan's here. Hi, Susan, Captain Infinity Time Travel Police. And everyone's saying hi to each other. And Nodak is here to remind you of that so important action one must take when they come to a live stream. Hit the like button. It's okay. Like buttons like being hit. I know it's a little odd, but it's just a button. It's their way. Just go with it. All right. First story. Yes. Well, let's see. I go through the list here. Oh crap! I wanted to do that one first. Now I'll get lost if I don't do it in order. So, all right, we'll go with Matt Smith. What's he up to? Well, I don't know, but he might be up to something kind of cool. Let's check that out. I think we'll enjoy checking this out. Matt Smith, rumored for Brainiac and Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, I can totally see it. This is another good choice. The article does mention the other guy. I thought, yeah, this might work. But Matt Smith is really a very resourceful actor. A lot of times he's wasted in dumb stuff, but this would be a good choice. Yeah, provided he's not wasted in Man of Tomorrow, just like poor David Cornsweet would be as well. He's a good Superman. He's just, odds are he's not going to get a good Superman movie. Yeah. The search for Brainiac and Man of Tomorrow has taken another turn. A new report claims Matt Smith is now the front runner to play the iconic Superman villain. Well, they better figure that out because they're going to start shooting in a matter of months. The update comes from scooper Daniel RPK, following earlier claims from Nexus Point News that several actors were on the short list. Nexus Point News previously reported that Claes Bang, that's the guy, Matt Smith and Sam Rockwell were among the names being considered for the role. Bang was rumored earlier to be one of the actors preparing to test. But with the latest info, it appears Smith may have pulled ahead. So I don't know, maybe Bang didn't work out, Or they tested both, and then after Smith came in, they go, Oh, yeah, Smith's the guy, you know. Daniel RPK states that Smith is currently the top choice for Brainiac as Warner Brothers and DC Studios continue casting ahead of the film's spring shoot. While no deal is in place, hearing Smith is the frontrunner suggests the studio is leaning toward a specific interpretation of the villain. Smith has become a go-to performer for larger-than-life transformative characters. His work on Doctor Who and House of the Dragon shows his range between eccentric, menacing, and unpredictable. It has also been reported Smith was supposed to play a younger, possibly cloned version of Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Yeah, what a mess that film was. Who knows? I mean, they were shooting that thing right up to days before it was released. So, yeah. But yeah, he was hired to do something in there. Well, he got a paycheck, I'm sure. Anyway, Brainiac, played with cold alien intelligence, could fall comfortably within that wheelhouse. Oh, yeah. Yeah. His physical presence, angular features, and ability to shift between calm charm and unsettling intensity have already made him a favorite in fan discussions. There's Mr. Bang. Yeah, I mean, you could see him doing it, you know. But anyway, Man of Tomorrow flies into theaters on July 9th, 2027, written and directed by James Gunn. So, yeah, they better figure out who Brainiac's going to be, you know. So anyway, there's the people who are going to be in it. You know, the usuals. Superman's got a team with Lex and all that. So, oh, really? The engineer's returning? Huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Supergirl will be with a Brainiac story. Oh, yeah, you got to have Supergirl in it. I wish it was Henry Cavill's movie. That would have been so cool. And you know, you could have his Supergirl be in there and say, oh, yeah, this guy came to Krypton and stole a whole city. What? Great Scott. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what he did. Anyway, yeah, good choice. If true, of course. But, yeah, he could totally do it. So there you go. It's a good cut, you know. It's obviously like the art, you know, the article was explaining, like they're going in. You're going to want a good British actor for a role like that, and those are two very good choices. But yeah, I think Matt might be the guy. I'd be the guy for that. So, well, that's some DCU stuff. But what about MCU? Well, there's casting news there too. Oh yes. Soon to show up in Spider-Man. Sadie Sink, said to be Jean Grey. They've been saying it for a while now, you know. In Spider-Man Brand New Day. So maybe it's closer to that. You know, the idea of making her the real Mary Jane. It wasn't going to happen. Yeah. Even though, hey, she looks like Mary Jane. But, you know, I guess not. Yeah. Anyway. Wait a minute. That's the Stranger Things girl. Which is odd because she's the one who doesn't have the mind powers. But if she's Jean Grey, she's going to have the mind powers. I don't guess she'll get a bloody nose, though. Or shave her head. But anyway, a new rumor says Sadie Sink is set to play Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Meaning Marvel may introduce the X-Men through Tom Holland's next film before they fully arrive in Avengers Doomsday. Well, it stands to reason because Spider-Man's the only thing they got going. You know, it's the one hope they have. And that they're going to feel that the end credits are going to be a movie unto themselves probably at this point. And that's just what they're going to do. That's what I think. Yeah. So will she be an integral part of the movie? He'll meet her a couple of times, and then later it's revealed in the end credits that she's a mutant, or she receives the message from Professor X, and maybe we don't see him, but she hears his voice because, I don't know, had they, you know, who will they get to play the new Professor X? It's not going to be Patrick Stewart, okay? I mean, that's done. But, well, I don't know. Or she'll be called to the Doomsday thing, just like Spider-Man. See, I'm guessing the end credits is definitely going to involve, if not both, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, one of them. And he says, come on, man, with something else going down. And then he's got to go through the portal, and off you go into a time warp shenanigans again, you know. Something like that. But anyway, Spider-Man is really their last hero standing. I mean, if they want to, and it keeps going back, will Deadpool and Wolverine be involved or not? I mean, it would be stupid not to, but apparently they haven't finalized the contract, so they probably shot footage, but they don't know if they can use it or not yet. Good Lord. But anyway, the scoop comes from Josh. Something's going wrong. I can't speak anymore. Josh of Den of Nerds on X, who wrote, Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, and the scoopers that say she isn't are wrong. All right, Josh added, Marvel is lying to people about Sadie just like they lied to Jeff Snyder when he had the RDJ Doctor Doom thing before everyone. The truth will come out, though. Update. Josh adds that Harris Dickinson could be Cyclops. Good Lord, I don't even know who that is. If the Sadie Sink rumor is real, Marvel may be positioning Spider-Man Brand New Day as the quiet lead-in to the MCU's full-scale mutant debut coming following Avengers Secret Wars. The Fox X-Men are already confirmed to appear in Avengers Doomsday, which arrives just a few months after Brand New Day. Doomsday will feature the classic Fox-era lineup, including characters like Professor X, Magneto, Beast, Cyclops, and the rest of the iconic team. Wolverine? No Wolverine? With Brand New Day hitting theaters on July 31st, 2026, and Doomsday releasing December 18th, 2026, the timeline lines up perfectly for Peter Parker's next movie to plant the seeds of the mutant storyline before Marvel blows the doors off with the multiversal crossover. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, several theories immediately make sense. She could be playing a variant Jean Grey, allowing Marvel to bring in a younger version who can exist in the MCU long term while still keeping the Fox gene intact for Doom. Well, yeah. See, I don't think she's not from the Fox realm. You know? She's probably the mutant. They've already, I mean, you know, they did it on the Kamala Khan series and all that. Oh, she's a mutant. They just keep making stuff up about that character. She's originally one of the Inhumans and all that. And the lead up in the series, you can see elements of that being put in place, but they just decided to rewrite it at the ending. So the idea that there's mutants existing in the MCU already is not that far-fetched, and so Jean Grey would be that. But after Doomsday and Secret Wars, the whole thing's going to be retconned so much that none of that will matter anymore. And then after that's done, you go into your X-Men movies, and then she'll be that Jean Grey for this newly formed universe that survives this multiversal conflict, you know? And the Fox ones, well, yeah, they're done. They're done. Anyway, another possibility is that Marvel may introduce the main MCU Jean Grey directly through Spider-Man, using her appearance to tie Peter into the mutant storyline early. Yeah, sure. There's also the angle that Sink's Jean could be the MCU's second mutant. Oh, I see. I didn't read the article before I did this. You know, time constraints and all. Kamala Khan, even though that status is murky after Feige's post-in-game failure that is rumored to be erased. Yeah, that's another thing that they're just going to pretty much all the movies except for probably Spider-Man's movie will have never happened post-in-game. And they might as well, you know. Regardless, introducing Jean in the Spider-Man film instantly pulls Peter into a storyline much bigger than street-level crime, connecting him to the MCU's mutant future. In an alternate universe, Peter and MJ, who might be a mutant daughter, May Parker, who is also rumored to be played by Sync. So a flashback of young May? Oh, you mean the daughter? Well, he can't be making out with her then. So there's Spider-Man in the comics kissing Jean Grey. And Professor X is like, oh my God, that's terrible. So he had to smash out the window because, well, that's kind of an assault, isn't it? But she seems all giggle tee-hee. Anyways, Spider-Man and Jean Grey actually share some notable comic book history, even if they were never a long-term pairing. Their earliest interactions date back to the 1970s in the issues of Marvel Team Up, where the two fought alongside the original X-Men. One of their first team-ups even had Peter kiss Jean before swinging away. They also fought cosmic threats together in later issues, with Jean often portrayed as one of the most powerful members of the group. Years later, Spider-Man taught at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, putting him directly inside the X-Men world and interacting with characters tied to Jean's legacy. So while the two aren't traditionally linked as a duo, Marvel introducing them together on screen wouldn't be unprecedented. Yeah, but it's probably like a brief thing. It's not a full-on supporting character in the overall plot of the film, you know? It's just one of these teasing things they do for later films, which they've been doing for years now, you know? So anyway, Spider-Man Brand New Day is set to release July 31st, 2086. The film is directed by that guy. The script's by that guy. It's produced by these people. Tom Holland's back. The movie features all these other people, and Sadie Sink is among the actors with undisclosed roles. And it's looking more likely it's Jean Grey. Yeah. But they did mention someone to be Cyclops. They sure did. And here's the link. Harris Dickinson rumored to be the MCU's Cyclops in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So good Lord, is he going to show up in there too? A new rumor adds even more fuel to Marvel's mutant plans, as English actor Harris Dickinson is now said to be the studio's pick for Cyclops. The buzz once again comes from Josh of Den of Nerds, who pointed out that Jeff Snyder first reported Dickinson was being eyed for the MCU's rebooted X-Men lineup. Weeks later, insider Daniel RPK mentioned that Marvel was searching for a Harris Dickinson type for Spider-Man Brand New Day. But eventually they must have thought, well, let's just get Harris anyway. Josh summed up the obvious connection with, do I have to spell this out for you? You mean he's the guy. They're not looking for a type. They're looking to get him to put the goggles on, you know. If Dickinson is indeed playing Cyclops, it suggests Marvel may introduce multiple young X-Men through Tom Holland's next movie before rolling them into the reboot following Secret Wars. With Sadie Sink rumored to be Jean Grey, Spider-Man Brand New Day may become the MCU's first major step into its full mutant era. So, if this is the case, he's already been cast, huh? Because the movie's coming out in July. So if he's in Spider-Man, I mean, if they're looking at him to be Cyclops later on in Secret Wars and then, of course, the X-Men movie, okay. But if he's supposed to also have an appearance in Spider-Man, even a brief one, they should have this locked down already. Probably already shot his scene. Anyway, the timing lines up with Marvel's larger reset strategy, positioning these younger versions of the characters as the long-term faces of the X-Men going forward. A while ago, we were even told Henry Cavill is being eyed as the MCU's Wolverine. Well, other than Hugh Jackman, he's the only other actor to ever portray the character, albeit very briefly in the Deadpool film. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. The casting rumors indicate Marvel is leaning toward a younger, grounded team rather than older variants, contrasting with the Fox-era characters set to appear in Doomsday. Yeah, it's a final goodbye and a transition type thing, and then they do their reboot. I mean, odds are this might be Tom Holland's last out as Spider-Man. You know? So you're going to get new Spider-Man, and I think they're going to go heavy on X-Men for a while before they introduce new Spider-Man, new Captain America, new Iron Man, all that type of stuff. It's a way to do it. If they hadn't messed things up so badly, the brand would be much healthier to do something like this. Because, the actors age out of their roles. Yeah. So anyway, Dickinson fits the traditional Cyclops profile and could lead the MCU's new X-Men into the post-Secret Wars era. With Brand New Day arriving months before Doomsday, the movie may quietly establish the foundation of Marvel's reset mutant lineup. Once again, there it gets released in July. Here's all the people involved. And, this could be the new face of Cyclops. I don't think he's going to look like that. Maybe like this, but with his glasses on because he can't control his laser eyes. And, he'll probably look more like this guy. Yeah. Oh, wait. Is that the other guy who played him? Well, he'll have a suit that kind of the deal. So, I don't know. Kind of lines up, doesn't it? So, he's probably Cyclops. Yes, if he dresses up like that, he'll pass for Cyclops. Let's see. Doug, how can she play Jean Grey? She's a ginger. Yeah, I know. But I guess they didn't look, Latino slant. Polly, my dude. Hey means me. Thank you, Polly. Thanks for showing up for the Nailsin Ratings live. Susan Dolan again, and she's not Famke Janken. Wait, is that supposed to be the proper spelling, or I thought it was Famke Janssen? Yeah. I don't know if it was ever said she would actually make an appearance in the Doomsday and Secret Wars stuff. I don't know. Will she? Anyway, it's a lot of names. You can lose track. Spidey's not a mutant. No, he's not. But they're all in the same universe, so I guess they'll meet up or some crap. But the idea of her being his daughter and she didn't get exposed to a radioactive spider, although they've changed it to a mutant spider. Well, a mutated spider these days. Yeah, that old thing about radiation giving you superpowers. Nah, it just gives you the ability to die, Anyway, Don Jr. says, good morning. Oh, yeah, it is morning. Good point, Don. Good morning to you, too. So anyway, hey, is any of that true? Probably. Sadie is definitely in the listing for the film, so she's playing something. But it might just be some little cameo role that's just, a setup for her. And darn good and well there's going to be some tease within the end credits for Doomsday, and maybe she's part of that. Well, not just maybe. It's pretty much a guarantee, oh, wait, let me see here. No, probably not the right spelling for Famke. No, I think it's Famke. If I recall from X-Men and James Bond. All right. Now we go to the other MCU story, the one that really matters. Well, Spider-Man is probably going to matter. Well, I don't know. Doomsday. Yeah, it's important. It is. Avengers Doomsday, rumored to erase MCU and directly continue Endgame. Oh, the post-Endgame era. Yeah, because no one gives a crap about those movies, except, Spider-Man No Way Home. So they might keep that intact. But everything else, gots to go. Ahead of the trailer release later this month, a new rumor says Avengers Doomsday is being treated as a direct sequel to Endgame. The idea is that the story picks up right after the 2019 film and sounds like it may ignore everything that came after it. If this is accurate, Marvel may be preparing to rewrite its own timeline and remove the post-Endgame era, which has previously been rumored. That would include the DP shows and the recent films that all failed to connect and flopped. The rumor also lands following the announcement that Marvel is re-releasing Avengers Endgame in theaters a few months prior to Doomsday. So, the shenanigans of what went on with Endgame, they'll tie it in as they introduce their Victor Von Doom and explain him. So they'll do something like that. And they're all thinking, oh, if only we had thought of that at the time. And you would actually have movies people were interested in. Oh my God, you would have this whole build up and set up. Just like you did the first time around with Infinity War. But not happening this time. You gotta shoehorn it in at the beginning of one movie. But anyway, the latest rumor comes from Daniel RPK, where it's claimed that Avengers Doomsday will be a direct... How exactly it all unfolds remains to be seen. But one prevailing theory is that it has to do with Steve Rogers. See below. The new rumor aligns with the earlier rumor that Avengers Doomsday will erase all events after Endgame. YouTuber Doomcock, hey, I know him, reported that the movie shifts the focus back to the real Captain America and resets the MCU to the moment Steve Rogers chose to stay in the past with Peggy Carter. Doomcock's sources said the new plan is for Doomsday. I wonder if Doomcock gets confused thinking, hey, this is not my birthday. Oh, the movie. Yeah. Anyway, to treat everything after Endgame as non-canon and create a new future from Steve's choice. Said images from a 1960s style house believed to be tied to Steve Rogers. Sporting cues. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there is that looks like it's the house where he and Peggy lived and all that. The rumor also matches a claim from My Time to Shine Hello on X that Steve's decision to return to Peggy causes incursions that kill Dr. Doom's family, pushing Doom to hunt Steve. Oh, I'm so old. Oh, if Marvel follows through on this direction, the company would effectively undo years of unpopular titles, and reposition Chris Evans at the center of the MCU. Recent photos show Evans training again, which has fueled expectations that he is returning. A reset also fits what is known about the MCU after Secret Wars. The franchise has been heading toward a soft reboot. Yeah, they need to do a major one. You're going to be recasting characters. Just go all the way. And Marvel has already said the DP shows will no longer connect to the movies. Well, you see, Chris Gore had it right. The movies can affect your TV shows, but the TV shows cannot affect the movies. And that'll work. Basically, you do shows and they'll have some news report in the background or something talking about the Avengers battling Dr. Doom or something like that. But you don't have to actually have plot lines derivative of it in total. Yeah. And you certainly can't do that from a TV show into a movie. Just ask Doctor Strange. So anyway, there we go. All these people will be in the movie. You're all caught up. Hey, look, there's their images. I mean, a soft reboot where they're keeping these people on in the roles? I mean, I suppose Chris Evans could do another Captain America movie. But not all of them can cut. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. isn't going to be Tony Stark again. You know, he's going to come back and do this thing to help out, you know, and of course, be handsomely paid enough money to make another movie out of it, or 2 movies just for him and all that. But, yeah, that's it. You know? So the idea is, you go ahead and you have your big bash and you celebrate your past glories and all that stuff. But following that, you're going to have to start over reintroducing your characters. And look, you got decades of comics to look for source material about how to do that. Because truth is, even though DC would do it more openly, yeah, Marvel's been rebooting those stories for decades. And that's what you do. That's what you do. And certain different angles on the characters, you could pursue that. But basically the core elements of who they are remain. It's just new actors. It's really not that big of a deal, but, you know. Of course, there's big shoes to follow. It's going to be hard to follow Robert Downey Jr. in the role of Tony Stark. But it's going to happen, you know. How many people have played Batman? How many people have played Superman? You know, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a lot. So it can be done. It can be done. It's true. It can be. All right. Will there be a Doomspaya? I would assume so. You know, you got to keep track and collect all the clips and stuff. Mike Panzer, I made up my own superheroes. I have a great life. All right. Susan says hi. Mike Panzer again says, OMG, I got diarrhea like a big dog. Huh. It's almost as if you're proud of the event. I'm a big dog now. I have diarrhea. Yeah, I don't think they ever think that, you know. But that's just me. Yeah. How do I want to do these stories? Well, all right. We'll just jump on over back to, well, not DCU, but to the Matt Reeves, the Batman universe, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, here's a little tidbit that I took notice of and thought, hey, I'll, talk about it and opine. You know, give my opinion. Yeah. The Batman, part number 2. Rumors include a new male villain. Robert Pattinson doing the bio of The Cure, you know. A new report from insider Daniel Rickman claims DC is looking to cast a male villain for the Batman, part number 2. Rickman says the studio has already offered the role to an A-list actor. That's better than a B-list one, though the report did not identify who it might be. Or maybe, rather. The rumor lines up with prior buzz, suggesting Matt Reeves is expanding the rogues gallery for the sequel, building off the grounded universe he introduced in the first film. Okay. Jeff Snyder of the In Snyder. See what he did? Also mentioned hearing that the movie could feature a new male antagonist. Snyder floated the possibility of Dr. Arkham being involved, which would push the series deeper into Gotham's psychological horror elements. The addition of Dr. Arkham would fit Reeves' darker investigative tone. It really wasn't in the movie. It posed like a detective story, but it has been a fan-requested character since the release of the first movie. Dr. Arkham is typically portrayed as a sinister psychiatrist tied to Arkham Asylum. What are the odds? Often connected to the institution's darkest experiments, yeah, and the origins of Gotham's criminally insane. Whoa. The rumor arrives shortly after reports of Scarlett Johansson in talks to play a female villain in the sequel. Well, yeah, I would expect her to play a female one, you know. Details on her character remain unknown, though fans have speculated everything from Harleen Quinzel, please no, for God's sakes no, to an original creation made for Reeves' universe. Yeah, come on, there's plenty of characters in the comics to choose from. Yeah, don't do that. If both reports prove true, the Batman part number 2 could feature 2. That's right. For part number 2, count them, 1, 2 new major villains. Maybe more. Well, that might make it 3. Anyway, expanding Pattinson's world as Reeves continues shaping his long-term Gotham story. The Batman part number 2 is set to release on October 2nd, 2026. Oh, well, they better hurry this up then, huh? Well, anyway, yeah, everybody's back to do their roles and stuff. So, why not Hugo Strange? You know, for your grounded and psychological terror and stuff like that, he'd be perfect. You could just, and there's some great stories to pull from. Won't do it, huh? Yeah. Will he be sad again? Will he get another turd of a movie to make his mascara run? Will Penguin season number 2 have to come in and save this franchise again? Well, we'll find out. Same Bat Theater, same Bat Showtime. Yeah, that's how you find out about these things. When, you know, it's available for you to see. Yep. And that's how we'll find out who this villain is. We'll find out who Scarlett Johansson's supposed to be, provided she signed up for the film, you know. And then they'll put the movie in the theater and you go see it. Yeah. Boy, I tell you, if this Netflix deal goes through, that might be one of the last Warner Brothers movies you see in a theater. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Gee, let's hope that changes. Maybe it will. Perhaps it's not quite over yet, because now Paramount strikes back. Paramount's hostile takeover push intensifies as Netflix shows its cracks. So you see there's the image. There's, what's his name? David Ellison, the head honcho of Skydance Paramount. And there are the cracks. See, you can see them forming within the logo of Netflix. Case closed. But still, yeah, Paramount probably still has quite a good chance here. Let's read, or I'll read. You listen. The battle for Warner Brothers Discovery just escalated again. Paramount and Skydance, well, it's one company now, backed by the Ellison family, are now telling insiders they're increasingly confident they'll beat Netflix's offer. According to New York Post Charles Casparino says Paramount is prepared to raise its bid high enough to easily cover the $2.8 billion breakup fee. More importantly, he reports that Paramount believes shareholders will side with them once the dust settles. Well, logic would dictate they would. It's more money, you know? Despite chatter in the press, Casparino also says government concerns about the Trump administration opposing the Paramount Skydance offer are way overblown. The real concern in D.C. is Netflix controlling 1/3 of the entire streaming market, something regulators are watching closely. So, you know, there's his tweet. Skydance increasingly confident it'll prevail over Netflix, blah, 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 everything he said. So there you go. See, it's a problem. And Paramount saying, hey, that's a problem. And people are going, oh, yeah, it probably is. So that and the more generous offer seems to go into Paramount's favor, you know. So anyway, according to Puck News, their Bill Cohen also reported on the ongoing battle and revealed that the Ellisons have now sweetened their Paramount-backed offer 6 times since the takeover effort began in September. An effort backed by deep foreign capital. According to Cohen, Larry Ellison is putting up nearly $12 billion. Another $24 billion is coming from Saudi Arabia, PIF, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. All 3 agreed to invest without board seats or governance rights. Likely to avoid a Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States review. Oh, well, yeah. But, you know, a wink, wink, and nudge, nudge deal. I don't know. However, 2 Democrats have since demanded that Paramount Skydance submit reports over what they feel are serious national security concerns. Yeah, you know. Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners is providing another $200 million, mostly via Saudi money. Kushner is Trump's son-in-law. Well, what are the odds? Redbird, a private investment firm, stepped in to fill the $1 billion gap after Tencent, the massive Chinese tech conglomerate, pulled out of the deal. Paramount has also secured $54 billion in debt commitments from Bank of America, Citigroup, and Apollo. Bottom line, the Ellisons had the cash, the backers, and the structure to close the deal, and they're signaling they'll keep raising. Cohen suggests raising their offer to $34 a share would seal the deal. Update. Reports are coming in that Paramount may lift its bid to $35 a share per Gasparino. Well, on paper, Netflix has a massive $59 billion bridge facility to fund its bid. But its stock price is approaching a yearly low since announcing the deal, raising questions about how stable that war chest actually is. Puck, that's with a P, suggests Netflix's stock is now in danger of falling into junk-rated territory, which would make a takeover of WBD far more expensive and far more complicated. If Netflix can't stabilize its share price, its entire structure for buying WBD becomes shaky. Geez, Zasloff, you didn't know that? I mean, I guess not. I don't know. Huh? Oh, it's embarrassing when you show up wearing the same outfit, see? You know. Anyway, the next key milestone, December 22, WBD must formally respond to Paramount's hostile tender offer. Shareholders will finally hear whether Zasloff and the board recommend accepting Paramount's all-cash bid, sticking with Netflix, or forcing both sides to raise their offers even further. Oh, yeah, that's an option, too, isn't it? Yeah. Given WBD's stock movement and the tone from both reporters, Wall Street believes Paramount isn't done raising the price. What started as a straightforward acquisition has turned into a full-scale corporate brawl driven by billionaires, sovereign wealth funds, global bankers, and a Hollywood studio fighting to survive. Well, it won't. You know, especially if Netflix wins this. It's just going to be a tab, an HBO tab, I guess, on Netflix, if that, eventually, you know. To maintain itself as a studio, its best bet is probably Paramount. Anyway, and if Gasparino and Cohen are right, the Ellisons are out muscling Netflix at every step. Yeah, this is an interesting thing because this scenario, at this point, certainly, shouldn't come as a surprise at all. And it's kind of a wonder as to why you went with Netflix in the first place. That's why they say, hey, there's some shenanigans going on. Zasloff and Sarandos are buddies, or he gets a more cushier deal personally out of it. I don't know. It's strange, isn't it? But if the offer is so damn good, then you really got to question the logic of going against it. Come the 22nd. So there you go. It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. But it'll be over when the fat lady sings. Who's the fat lady in there? I don't know. Everybody seems to be kind of thin, all the ones involved, I think. And they're all men. So, well, it'll end when it ends. That's true. When things end, it's the end. Yeah. I even put money on it. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's probably the most interesting story of overall is this war for Warner Brothers, And yeah, I thought, well, that's it. Netflix managed to cobble together the money and outbid them, and that, but wait a minute. So I don't know. And it's also funny when they're literally sniping at one another and stuff, because in the end, nobody grows up anymore. We're all aging kids. That explains a lot, doesn't it? So anyway, Paramount winning would probably be the best outcome. It's a terrible outcome all around because this is an admission of absolute failure. This will be the third time that Warner Brothers has been bought or merged or what have you, in recent years. So it just goes to show you that the initial guys in charge were crap, incompetent and whatnot, screwed around, got bailed out by AT&T, and then they're like, what are we doing? I don't know. And Discovery came in ostensibly to get to the third sale, which is right now, and then that's what Zaslav, but they polish it up, try to make it pretty, get the best price possible. And he's going to get it one way or another, and well, here we are. It's just when they talked about they were going to split it, and that's the initiative going forward, depending on, I don't know if the timeline on that changes, if Paramount actually wins out here, because they want the whole shebang. So they'll take the legacy media properties as well. But as the transition goes, would Paramount say, hey, no, stop that, don't split the company because we're buying both? I don't know, because for Netflix it works out better because they don't want the crap. A lot of it, come on, it's crap. My guess is for Paramount to move in on CNN. It's like, that's a valuable property. Well, not locally, but internationally it does have that reach, so maybe that's the thinking of it. And you combine that with their CBS News asset, and give it a go. But once again, as with all things, we'll have to wait and see. Stay tuned. Yeah, it's really the best soap opera going, isn't it? I would say so, and I just did. Yeah. Well, what about poor Star Wars? That's about all I can think to say. Really have no hope for it. Sure. Talented people could come in and right the ship, maybe even totally fix it. I doubt that anyone's ever really going to do the necessary retcon of the sequel trilogy they would need to do. But to turn it into a viable brand and stuff, like some avenues are possible there. But by the time they finally get around to it, I'll be too old, senile, possibly dead. So never really going to forgive them for robbing me of the years that I could have had new Star Wars that at the very least, was okay and maybe even a little fun. Oh, that's not what I got. No. Well, anyway, there's Mandalorian and Grogu. You remember for a brief moment, Mandalorian did almost what seemed to be impossible, which was bring Star Wars back from the grave that Last Jedi put it in. And yet it did. And then it was immediately sabotaged. Yeah. Well, there's going to be a movie, So I wonder what that's going to be about. Well, here's some rumors. Star Wars. Remember when you cared about Star Wars? Yeah, it was a long time ago now, huh? Well, new rumored synopsis claims to reveal more details about the Mandalorian and Grogu. Hey, look, there they are now. Jeez. I don't know. For a second there, I thought they were at the Overlook Hotel. Yeah, anyway, a new rumored synopsis for Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu claims to provide new information about the film. A German Blu-ray site, claims to uncovered a new synopsis for the film. The synopsis translated, I would expect so, via Deep L, Deep Loser, Deep Loss, states, the Empire has been defeated, and the remnants of its forces scattered to all corners of the galaxy. But some of the former commanders from this dark period still cling to power, and have now become dangerous warlords who repeatedly challenge the peace under the New Republic. To track down these cells and neutralize them, Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, and his apprentice Grogu, who joined the Mandalorians after completing his Jedi training, are assisting the new... He completed his Jedi training? I thought he decided, I'm going to go be a Mandalorian instead. And so Luke said, okay, you can borrow my X-Wing. And he flew over there with R2, and R2 dumped him off at, Din Djarin's place, whatever. Anyway, so they're assisting the new government. Some clues eventually lead them to the planet Kar-Zun, where they not only manage to infiltrate an almost forgotten Imperial facility, but Grogu also discovers an ancient artifact that acts as an amplifier for his abilities. Unable to control these new powers, Grogu becomes the target of Imperial agents who are preparing to launch a concerted attack against the New Republic, and see the small creature as their chance to destroy the enemies of the Empire in one fell swoop. Well, I don't know. It sounds about right. I mean, what else are they going to do in the movie, But anyway, the first part of that synopsis is not new. The official description from Lucasfilm and Disney states the evil empire has fallen and Imperial warlords remain scattered throughout the galaxy. As the fledgling New Republic works to protect everything the rebellion fought for, they have enlisted the help of legendary Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, and his young apprentice Grogu. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. The only new thing is the new superpowers that Grogu gets when he finds the Kyber. Of course, the Kyber crystals are now what's in the lightsabers. So in the old days, one of the drafts of Lucas's idea about the Star Wars was the Kyber crystal would be sort of like the ring in Lord of the Rings type thing. Anyway, however, the final part of the synopsis, where the duo travel to a planet named Kar-Zun and locate an artifact that can boost Grogu's abilities, is new. Well, you got to give him something to do, Aside from these synopses, not much else is known about the film. Director Jon Favreau did emphasize that Grogu and Din Djarin's relationship is central to the story. Yeah, it's called Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, because Din Djarin and Grogu, I guess, sounds stupid. I don't know. Anyway, that central relationship as they go off and face adventure together, that's the underpinning of the film. Just like in the TV show. Star Wars is always about progression. Not lately, but... And growth. Again, not lately, but... And characters evolving. Not lately, but... Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad, he elaborated. It's about apprenticeship. It's about one generation teaching the next. There's more growth that happens over the course of the film. Well, yeah, but that's been the story of the series as well. So, additionally, he shared that Din Djarin's priorities have changed because now he's a daddy. And he's no longer a hired gun, but he has chosen the side of the New Republic. So, meaning he's hired by the New Republic. So, one of the last things we say in season 3 is, like, I don't want to go out there and just be a hired gun. I want to work for the good guys. There was also a rumor in January from Christian Harloff that Din Djarin and Grogu were hired to rescue Rada the Hutt. He said there was a storyline in the Clone Wars when he was a baby that he was kidnapped and had to be rescued, and I think that they're doing it now as him as an adult. So he just keeps getting kidnapped all the time. What it looks like is Mando and Grogu are hired to rescue him. He's held hostage, and they're kind of like the good guys. Yeah. Okay. And the bad guy is someone, I even see people kind of guessing it in the comments below. And Imbo is coming back, he continued. He was voiced by Dave Filoni. He'll be voiced by Dave Filoni again. Good Lord, what are the odds? He is basically the big bad in this story from what I'm hearing. It looks like Imbo is the big bad. Yeah, okay, you just said that. And him and Mando both going after Rada. Mando's trying to rescue him. Imbo is trying to kill him. Okay, well, the conflict makes sense there because if you're trying to rescue him and the other guy wants to kill him, you can't let the other guy kill him. How are you going to rescue him if he's dead? You won't. So there you go. The possibility of two plots. Perhaps both will intertwine through this new saga in the universe of Star Wars. So, you want to go see that? I don't know. I mean, the third season was pretty bad. And everything Star Wars has sucked for so long. And the massive damage done to it they haven't addressed, so... That's pretty much all one can say. Yeah. So what you gonna do? I don't know. I really don't know. Doug, the mutants are complicated. Hank McCoy. I was born a mutant, but he mutated himself further. Yeah. And he turned blue and furry. It'd be funny if they just said his hair was starting to thin and he tried to cure baldness. And, he did, but then, he's covered head to toe in fur. But hey, look on the bright side. You got a full head of hair. Talks to JPEG. Whoa, Dub. Pat's YouTube channel has got. No, it's not. Oh, yeah, you see it. There's no, but yeah. You see, when there's no videos, it's hard to strike a channel. You understand? Yeah, you're going to have to watch his show live to catch those streams. And toss him some super tips when you do. Especially use the voice super tips. God, are those so much fun. Oh, man, it's cool. And I need to remind him again. He really needs to consider I do it. I stream both on Rumble and YouTube and X at the same time. And so there'd be, another avenue for the videos beyond the reach of YouTube's, danger. Rada the Hutt, LOL. Yeah, that's what they named him. That's Jabba's baby. And I guess he'll be all grown up in the movie. Drive-by 480, Pedro Pascal equals gay Mandalorian. It's a possibility, I mean, there's been 2 women. Of course, they sabotaged Gina Carano's character. But then Katie Sackhoff, she was there. And they were kind of a couple, and yet he didn't bust a move. Yeah. Toxic. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, he should simulcast. Yeah, I would think so. He mentioned it, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. If you can pass YouTube censorship, you can pass them all. It's not a matter of that. It's if you got people who are interested in just ruining your life, to, So anyway, there's one more thing. Sir, just one more thing. Talked about Star Wars, so I might as well talk about poor Star Trek. Good Lord. So I understand on the make sure I got it there. No, it's not. Oh, I am not showing it. Good Lord, stupid. You got to actually put it on the screen. There, see? Oh, my God. Not that you really want to see it. But I understand Dave Gagliano talked about I'm assuming I've only seen the one trailer, but they got this preview clip of one of the episodes. I assume the first one. I don't know. And there's a big battle on a starship. And the ships and outer space looks cool, it always did in Secret Hideout shows. The rest of it, I heard I guess for the Academy itself, that's the main new sets they built for the show. And word has it was pretty expensive to build it. But the rest of it, like the ship itself, it's just Discovery, It's pretty much the same bridge and everything. And even the ship kind of looks like Discovery, but whatever. Yeah, they're doing that. And Holly Hunter, she has her own con and Paul Giamatti type thing. Yeah. And apparently they don't have physical fitness in the Space Navy of Starfleet anymore. So, these guys seem to be all in shape. Well, most of them anyway. But here, look, the Klingons in love with this girl. I don't know about him. She seems to have claimed him. But then again, she's snuggling to this one who's got this girlfriend. She's smiling, but, I know what you're doing. Oh, no, you didn't. So that's what the show will be about, the 90210 in space type thing. And that's what you'll get. So, I did see the little, 4-minute clip or something. Too long, but and I don't know if he was saying, "Hey, we're going to watch this so we can talk about it on the show." And oh man, I'm going to go ahead and finish out the last 2 seasons of Old Familiar Worlds, but this thing, no. Now, if it was just a movie like Section 31, I could probably do it. Thank God Section 31 didn't become a series. That's what Kurtzman wanted it to be, which the story told in that movie, if you can call it that, would have been the entirety of the series. It's just, that's what they do. They have an idea for one episode and they stretch it over 10 episodes, to make the pain last. So anyway, yes, the article here, Star Trek reboot can't happen fast enough. Boy, isn't that true? So, yeah, this will be how it dies. And then they're going to try for a new movie under the new regime of Skydance Paramount. And we'll see. We'll see. Can't be optimistic in light of, what we've seen over the past. Has it been 10 years? Probably more, huh? Whew, jeez. Well, anyway, then there's, this little story. Disney strikes landmark deal with OpenAI to bring Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and more to Sora. Who's she? Yeah. The Walt Disney Company and OpenAI have reached a major agreement that will bring Disney's most famous characters to Sora, OpenAI's generative AI video platform. It's a first of its kind deal that lets Sora create short, user-prompted social videos featuring more than 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters, along with environments, vehicles, and props. Well, that could be important. If you're going to do stories with them, they can't just be floating around and nothing. The partnership will also allow ChatGPT images to generate fully produced images using the same IP. Disney confirms no talent likenesses or voices are part of the license. So you kind of get not so great. Well, I mean, I guess some of the Marvel stuff it'll be kind of cartoon versions of them you could use, maybe. I don't know. The curated selection of Sora generated fan videos will stream on DP. Hey, now you can be on DP too, starting in early 2026. Fans will be able to create and share their own short form videos featuring characters like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Lilo, Stitch, Ariel, Belle, Beast, Cinderella, Baymax, Simba, Mufasa, as well as characters from the worlds of Encanto, Frozen, Inside Out, Moana, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Up, Zootopia, and many more. Plus, iconic animated or illustrated versions of, there you go, Marvel and Lucasfilm characters like Black Panther, Captain America, Deadpool, Groot, Iron Man, Loki, Thor, Thanos, Darth Vader, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia, the Mandalorian, Stormtroopers, Yoda, and more. No Spider-Man? Oh, boy, they're gonna protect that one, huh? No Rey? No Kylo Ren? What about the Acolyte girls? Yeah? Huh. Disney and OpenAI will also collaborate on new AI-powered experiences for DP subscribers using OpenAI's APIs. It's a lot of eyes, I guess they're talking it over, Alongside the 3-year deal, Disney will become a major OpenAI customer and will deploy ChatGPT internally for employees. Disney is also investing $1 billion into OpenAI, so you're a customer and pretty much an owner, into OpenAI and will receive warrants to purchase additional equity. Huh. There's Darth. He still can't get over the Disney deal, and I feel his pain. You bastards. Both companies emphasize the deal includes strong guardrails around copyright. Oh yeah. Creator rights. That's cute. User safety, voice likeness protections, and preventing harmful content generation. OpenAI has agreed to maintain and expand its trust and safety systems. Well, that's nice. Disney CEO Bob Iger called the collaboration a pivotal moment for entertainment, saying it lets fans connect with iconic characters in ways we've never seen before. Technological innovation has continually shaped the evolution of entertainment, bringing with it new ways to create and share great stories with the world, said Robert A. Iger, CEO of the Walt Disney Company. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence marks an important moment for our industry, and through this collaboration with OpenAI, we will thoughtfully and responsibly extend the reach of our storytelling through generative AI, while respecting and protecting creators. And their works. Bringing together Disney's iconic stories and characters with OpenAI's groundbreaking technology puts imagination and creativity directly into the hands of Disney fans in ways we've never seen before, giving them richer and more personal ways to connect with the Disney characters and stories they love. Well, chances are you're going to probably get some kind of nice stories out of those. And then See, by protecting creators, they mean them. And they'll swoop in and suddenly, hey, that's kind of like the idea I had. Now it's in your new DP series. Anyway, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman praised Disney as the global gold standard for storytelling. Sam, come on. And said the partnership shows how creatives and AI tech can work together responsibly, especially when they invest $1 billion into it. Disney is the global gold standard for storytelling, and we're excited to partner to allow Sora and ChatGPT images to expand the way people create and experience great content, said Sam Altman, co-founder and CEO of OpenAI. This agreement shows how AI companies and creative leaders can work together responsibly to promote innovation that benefits society. Well, giving them entertainment, I guess. Anyway, respect the importance of creativity and help works reach vast new audiences. Well, Sora and ChatGPT images are expected to begin generating fan-inspired videos using DCIP in early 2026, pending final approvals and closing conditions. Well, let's hope that all works out. What do you think, Darth? No! And I guess they're okay with it. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Will Thanos snap it all away? Should he? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the end, like all things that end. Let me check. Oh boy, did I get, no, I didn't get a super tip. Well, what are you going to do? Let's see here. Yeah, Pat Dixon. We talked about that. Well, Toxic David. No. Drive by 480. Everyone knows the Pascal is in the closet. That's why he's allowed to touch and paw women in public the way he does. Yeah, I know. It's perfectly safe. He's fine. Skip that. Toxic JPEG. Which network is putting this on? CW? Yeah. See, odds are, had CW done, maybe the trick shows might not have been as god awful. But then again, we wouldn't know just how bad it could be. So, you see, Secret Hideout isn't even at CW standards. Hey, Thompson. Yeah, looking for it. Look, no. He takes the videos are not there. All right. You have to watch them live. Piss up a rope? I don't know. Is that possible? Don't you have to have like supernatural powers to do that? I guess that'll be one of the new X-Men coming from new Marvel, whatever. Toxic JPEG, you're going to be Sora. Oh, yeah, especially when you work on a really cool idea and you put, look, everybody, oh, that's a really cool Spidey Man story you did. And then they rip it off for their next movie. And, hey, oh, you didn't read the fine print, did you? Yeah. LOL, you're right. Not even CW standards. OMG, that, yeah. I mean, I've thought that since STD, was watching that crap. I was saying, because I mean, like the CW DC shows, the Arrow had a good first season, and the Flash had a couple of them. They weren't, I'm not saying it's spectacular. Plus, they later produced the Superman and Lois show. That show was great. And it was on CW. Secret Hideout could never accomplish anything like that. So, yeah. Star Trek would have had a better chance with CW. That's where you are. Well, but hope springs eternal. We'll see what the new movie does. and what happens with the small. Yeah, I never really got into Smallville. Yeah, I don't know. It had its following in fandom, but I don't know. Whatever. To each their own, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what happens for Trek in the future. Where it belongs. All right, there we go. Thanks for watching and all that goody gumdrop stuff. Hopefully I can get another stream in later tonight. I don't know. I don't promise things. That a way you can't say I broke the promise. Say, don't make promises, because everyone's going to get mad when you break them. So you just don't do it. Just say, I might do it. Oh, wait, there's a few more here. Supernatural was okay. Thanks for the day. Yeah, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Here it is. You got to go here. You got to go there. You got to look for your ending theme song. Oh, thank God. There it is. Have a good rest of your day.
Pop goes the culture. Pop, 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 pop goes the culture. Myths and legends, granted escape to heaven. A darker, taller tale is a tour of hell. Pop goes the culture. Pop goes the culture. Pop, 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 pop goes the culture. Possessed by the devil, danced her ass off nightly at the Casa Diablo. He was a DJ, obsessed with the turntable, spun out booty shaking tunes nightly at the Casa Diablo. Sell your soul at the Casa Diablo. Show your hoe at the Casa Diablo. Johnny said she was a little off, but never thought she was crazy. He said the DJ really loved his dog, but beyond music he was kinda lazy. At the Casa Diablo, sell your soul. At the Casa Diablo, grind the pole. At the Casa Diablo, she'd bump and grind under a crescent moon. I studied every tan line. Then the DJ spun the wrong tune, found a knife in his back and a screech from hell. Then his blood went splat. At the Casa Diablo, burn the coal. At the Casa Diablo, pay the toll. At the Casa Diablo, Casa Diablo, Casa Diablo, Casa Diablo.